Like at all big international events, there's a media centre. This one is huge. There's everyone from journalists, press, photographers, everything. Let's go have a look inside. So in here, we have the press conference room. Very simple, very nicely laid out. And in here, printing room. Hello, everybody. Hi. Oh, don't want to be filmed. And down here, we have all the lists of the start times, the results for the jumping, dressage, driving, vaulting, reining, everything. And here we have our lovely receptionists who will give you all the information you could possibly desire. Very lovely, very beautiful. Hello. And down here is where it gets really cool. And of course, a very important and very well used coffee machine. I'm surprised there's not a queue there, there usually is. So in here is where everyone is working really hard, so I better keep my voice down a little bit. They've got to do a lot of research because very soon is the jumping final, the jumping championship. Olympic qualifications are on the line and everyone is building up to that competition. It's very tense actually in here. I am going to now find a radio journalist in the name of Rupert Bell. Let's go see if we can find him. Hi Rupert, you look very busy. What are you up to?
Well, obviously today is the final for the team competition in the jumping championships here in this fabulous arena of Aachen. And I'm feeling the fever, so I'm doing a bit of research. It's not because obviously I'm expecting to interview a lot of the riders later on who will be competing, whether they've won or lost, because there's an awful lot at stake today. We've got team medals, we've got Olympic qualification. So from my perspective, I just got to make sure I know which riders I might be likely to interview and to be asked them a significant question with regard to whatever they've achieved. So that is what I'm just doing, a little bit of research, because as I say, this is going to be a fascinating climax to the championships.
Have you already got the riders planned that you want to interview, or are you going to wait to the results and get the top 5?
I just wouldn't know, because there's so many different stories, and I'm not sure what the most significant story is. If Holland and the Netherlands win the European Championship, is that the biggest story? Because they come in as the world champions, they won the Furussia Nations Cup last year, they're sort of dominating. Will it be the Germans winning on home soil in front of this packed 30,000 crowd here? Or will it be one of the Olympic qualification stories? Britain, you know, the defending Olympic champions, there's a lot of criticism about their team coming into, was it going to be good enough? Denmark, extraordinary story making it through to the final 10. You know, could they get Olympic qualification, which I don't think they've achieved before? You know, there are so many fascinating little stories that I want to be across of, because this is a really big day for the sport, and jumping in the shop window in front of 30,000 people, and I'm really excited about what could happen later on today.
Rupert, I love your enthusiasm. Now, you do radio interviews, don't you? Without a massive camera or anything like that. This is very, very clever.
Well, when I first started, because I'm a little older than you, Sienna, we used to have a great big tape recorder, reel-to-reel, and chop it up, and it would take forever. Now, the advancement of modern science, I use now just my iPhone. I have a little windshield on it, and that's all I need to do. I'm just amazed. I'm like a little boy in a sweet shop when I have this, because I can't believe I don't need to lug much equipment around. The quality is certainly broadcast quality. If you're going to really do a proper interview, yes, I'll sit down with the real deal. But under normal circumstances, in the hurly-burly of the mixed zone, you want to have as little equipment as possible. And the modern iPhone, thank you very much, Mr. Apple, I love you.
Well, I think it's fantastic. Now, Rupert, here, what is this? Is this the...
Well, these are all the starting orders. These are all the bits of paper that we get. And here, this is details of the team scores from today carrying forward. When you've got the French, Dutch and Germany, that's what they carry forward. So when I'm watching later on, I can put the score down as to exactly what's happened and be aware. Because, of course, in the team competition, only 3 of the 4 riders count. And so will it be Penelope Le Prevost, who's been absolutely brilliant? Will she go clear? She's done so far. She won the speed. She was clear yesterday. She's dominating the individual standings, or whoever. So that's the information that we get to help us do our job, so that we can keep a running tally, because it all happens quite quickly out there, and then you think, well, every team, you see all the chefs that keep in the ring. What does it mean? What have I got to go and do? Well, I, as a journalist, have to know exactly the same thing.
Well, there's clearly a lot of work that you put into this. So, Rupert, I'm going to let you get back to it. Thank you so much. Enjoy today.
Sienna, I'll see you later, where you'll see us in the mix zone, because it's quite a fun place to be later on this afternoon.
I'm here in the mix zone. The atmosphere is so tense in here. The amount of media is unbelievable. Ludger Beerbahn's just down there, and they're all desperate to get an interview. Look at all those cameras.
Show jumping, you actually have qualified for the Olympics.
Bueno, creo que es un objetivo imprescindible a la hora de hablar del.
Try and get some Dutch audio with your own, because they've won the gold medal. Terrific performance from the team, full stop. They're now world champions, Furussia Nations Cup champions, they're now European champions. Terrific. Your own double down, world champion in his own right. What a year it's been for the Dutch. And obviously I'm trying to get an interview with him, at least get some Dutch audio and also get some English audio. I'll do my best.
Good
do
luck.
my best. Thank you.
But it's all pretty hectic here. Rupert's got in there though.
It's amazing.
Sorry.
Rupert, you must be happy you got that interview.
Well, I got what I needed, and I didn't get him in Dutch. I got you Breiling up there in Dutch, and now I'm going to try and get some of the other Olympic qualification stories, whether it be the British, the Irish. Got some reaction about them. That's bad news for the Irish. That's one of the big stories. They came with great hopes of qualifying. But obviously the Dutch, great to see them dominating the sport and continuing to dominate the sport. They're such fun, those guys, and they deserve all the success that's come with them.
So what do you have to do when you've got your interviews?
Right, I've got to email them now. I've got to send them, and then I've got to chop them up, make them make sense to whoever's going to listen to them, and then send them out to the great wide world.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Thanks, Rupert.
Thanks, Sienna.